Yeah, and then I was going through for a couple of years afterwards on the board. You know, I was smoking my butt off, okay? They complain.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Knocking on our door, complaining about
a
dog
dog park,
parking.
and mine said, we had
Yeah.
we do this president, I said, the president is, well, but I delegated this to the company, we pay, call them, and we're not, we call the concierge, and usually, and, you know, the concierge, you get it, so I'm bother, leaving it, then there, I don't know.
I didn't see anything.
No, no,
Yeah.
we do it.
Yeah, that's probably the board.
We just.
We're members of the association, we're not the party.
We don't have, we do.
All right, we're on page 130. 130. And first of all, I'm happy to see everybody. And we're kind of intimate congregation, and we've been joking that it's going to be an absolutely enormous Oneg Shabbat because everyone brought something for Passover worthy. And so one of the, how do I put this? One of the themes of this season of Passover is rebirth, renewal, springtime. I mean, Passover is seen as, I know you might think of the new year being Rosh Hashanah, and it is, but according to the Bible, according to the Torah, it's Passover is when the new year starts. And so it's, this is a season of renewal, kind of rejuvenation, springtime, freshness, plants growing, love's in the air. You can feel the love in the air right now. And so that's why Song of Songs, the book Song of Songs from the Bible, is connected with Passover. And so Dodie Lee is on page 130. Dodie Lee, ani lo haroeh bashoshani. Dodie Lee, ani lo haroeh bashoshani. Mizot olam min hamidbar, Mizot גדולה, מכותרת מור ולבונה, מור ולבונה, דודי לי ואני לא הרואה השושנים, דודי לי ואני לא הרואה השושנים. ליבבתיני אחותי חלה, ליבבתיני חלה, ליבבתיני אחותי חלה, ליבבתיני חלה, דודי לי ואני לא הרואה השושנים, דודי לי ואני לא הרואה השושנים. אורי צפון ובואי תימן, אורי צפון ובואי תימן, דודי לי ואני לא הרואה השושנים, דודי לי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים. If you would just pardon me for about 15 seconds, because I neglected to get the wireless microphone, which I will need in just a moment or a little bit later. And so I deeply apologize. I have returned. That was fast. Wait, you're correct. Margaret, you're correct. All right, so our service continues. Our service continues on, where are we? On page, the candle's on page 120. So please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And Kiddush on 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh zecher letzihiyat mihitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Hashabbat lechaim. Okay. All right, so our service continues on page 140 with Psalm 92 and a medley of various different prayers, all part of Psalm 92. It starts with Tov Lehodot, then goes on to Magadlu, and then concludes with Tzadik Katamar. Please join me, if you know it. Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat. Simachani Adonai before Lecha b'maseh yadecha harayin. Tov lehodot Adonai uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot Adonai. It's indented now. Tzadikatamar Yifrach Ke'eretz Alvano Yizkei Shenurim Bebeit Adonai Bechatzrot Thank you for joining me and singing with me. And our service continues with the call to worship, the Baruch Hu. It is on page 146, and I'd like to invite you to please rise if you don't mind. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Adonai Please remain standing. We're on page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God. Join me, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamahariv Haravim. 152, Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. We're on the next page, 154. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta baham B'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam amezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem Ahani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. 157. Feel free to join me, top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. You know, when we are at that Pesach Seder and we're going through the story, you know, one of the highlight or not, but one of certainly the most dramatic and climactic moments is when we reach the Sea of Reeds and we Moses lifts up his staff and the sea splits and we get through to freedom, and the Egyptians not so fortunate. And, and we've always, by the way, how do I put it? We've always felt a little uncomfortable celebrating the loss and death of others. In fact, so much so that there's one of the more famous expressions from our tradition is that when we crossed the Sea of Reeds and we started to sing, God said to us, "How can you sing when my creatures are dying in the water?" And so I guess only to point out that deeply rooted in our tradition is caring for others. And it is always a little bit mystifying to me when I hear about claims to the other side. Nonetheless, the story of an element of the story of Passover, which is when we got to the Sea of Reeds and then crossed over to liberation, is called Mi Chamocha, and it's on 158. Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot oseh feleh, Nora tehilot oseh feleh, Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Ze Eli atu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. So we're on page, let's see here. 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. The Hebrew for the song, which is Hapores, it's you can find it on that's that Hebrew which is just underneath what we just read. Baruch atah Adonai, Hapores sukat shalom, shalom aleinu ve'achol amo Yisrael. Start again. So just a quick reading on one of my favorites, page 165. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. We are on the facing page 164. This is Adonai Sifatai Tiftach. And then we're going to go rapidly to 166, 168, and 170 with the beginning part of the tefillah. And I'd like to invite everyone to please rise. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la, Ya Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, V'yahagi, Kehilatecha, Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach. Tehillah Techa. 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Vanora, El Elyon, Omer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Ahavot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Michayei kol atarav lehoshia, Morid hatahal, Michalkel chayim bechesed, Michayei hakol berachamim rabim. Sohomech noflim verofech oholim, umatir asurim, umechayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha bal gevurot, umido melach, melech memit umechayei, Umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'emanat ala chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Michayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yalelu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Hashabbat. We are on page 178, Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael. Shalom, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Kasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Kasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. V'choretu v'chosha'a Ishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Kasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Kasim Leolam. Kasim Leolam. Kasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael, Shalom. So, we're going to pause. You're welcome to put down your prayer books for a moment, or for a larger moment, whatever you want, because we are going to do what is always my favorite part of the service, and that is when we just share a little bit. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you do want to, we want to hear it. Joys that you've been experiencing recently, and if you have the courage to say it, then we want to hear it. And afterwards, we'll talk about the struggles too. But first, we begin with joy. And by the way, from time to time, I'm going to do a little and that just means maybe. So, Angel, here.
Well, it's now official. Arthur has been finished his, yes, dunking. He's finished his conversion process. The other bit of joy is that my son Pete is now official, so I can make a quick announcement. He has been hired. He's going to be Justice of the Supreme Court of Palau.
So remind me again. Palau. So Karen's got two of her sons' major changes in their lives. One, Pete is going to be on the Supreme Court of Palau. Palau, it's in Mississippi. Pretty sure it's in Mississippi.
Big enough that you can see Palau and can't see anything else.
You just go swimming out that way, and then you make a left, and then you hit it. So he's on the Supreme Court of Palau, and Arthur has been invited and welcomed into the ranks of Jewish people. Mazel tov in both cases. Who else has some joy to share? Yes, Arthur.
Well, it's 2 weeks away, but we're leaving for cookies. Go to Croatia and other places in Europe, and you can see your family and get them seen in a while.
Your long-lost family in Croatia? Not exactly.
Well, I mean, the last time I was there was the first time in 47 years that I had been there.
So we're going back to see your cousins in Zagreb and Split, and we'll have a lot to read. We want about 5 and a half weeks.
I thought it was all not Croatia.
My father, mother.
Wow, wonderful. So glad to hear. Well, I was being playful when I said long-lost family Christians. That was serious. Wow, beautiful. Sure.
We just had our 25th anniversary.
Hey!
In Morocco?
You went to Morocco?
Yeah, it was really fun. We went to some temples in
Marrakesh?
yes,
Casablanca?
Fez,
Fez?
the Sahara.
The Sahara.
We rode camels. Very cool.
Camels are the most uncomfortable,
They had good sounds.
Never.
brutal.
Never living anymore.
Never again. So everybody's like, what else you want to do with us? I'm like, why? Because I've got like scars on the inside of my legs.
We did when you went to Israel.
Yeah, never again.
This was
Awesome.
like 3 hours over the sand dunes.
They must have put you on like
They-
the
It
nice,
was really.
the nice saddles.
Sedation works.
I know. I mean, I had my legs broken, split and scraped and awful. Anyway, I'm so glad that you had such you're going to have a good experience in a couple weeks, and happy anniversary to the two of you. That's beautiful. Miranda, that's what it said.
I had an in-school band concert yesterday.
You had a school band concert yesterday.
Yep, performed for first graders and kindergarten.
You guys performed for the first kindergarten first. What pieces did you do?
Midnight Mission,
Midnight Mission?
Mission,
Mission.
Power Rock,
Our Rock.
Zombie Stomp, and
Zombie Stomp.
I think those are all three of them.
Wow.
Or actually, we're going to have like an actual concert.
That was an actual concert.
Concert.
Oh, I see. An actual concert for adults to see, not just kindergarten first graders. You practice on the kindergartens and first graders. That's probably what I do when we talk. I'm not joking. I practice on the kindergartens and first graders, and then if it goes okay, I practice. I know exactly what you're talking about. Congratulations. Anybody else want to say? Yeah, Morris.
This is kind of a compound joy here. About 2 weeks ago, all three of my granddaughters celebrated their birthdays.
That's right.
And that was fun. Huge party, combined party, a bazillion kids. And then about 47 minutes ago, you told me that the twins came up today for their birthday gift, whatever.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
Why?
They've been timid, for the first year or so here.
I see.
Fall out from COVID, who knows what. And sometimes we have trouble getting them up there
Yeah, not when I was one of their preschool friends and they're singled out for being the best. That's so great.
Lots of birthday joys.
I'm so happy. Thank you for sharing that. Indeed. Anybody else want to share? Yeah.
This is my first time celebrating Passover, and it has been wonderful.
Funny, you should send that message to my kids because they all dread Passover. They speak of Passover in the same way that they speak of Yom Kippur and Funai. Like they speak of it as the same. They're like, well, we're fasting for a week. Because they can't have anything that they want, which is very funny to me. So what I do, Masa Pizza does not work. What's that?
Flatbread pizza doesn't exist.
See, that's my motto, which is that if it's flat, it should be fine. Like, if it's a flour tortilla, you should be fine, right? Or corn tortillas, we have to do instead. I don't understand why you can't eat a Ritz cracker. Like, it's pretty much just matzah. It's flat, it's like matzah, it's basically matzah. That's all right. I don't buy into the whole we didn't have enough time to like bread rice, but you know we did. True. Anyway, Passover is I love Passover because of what it represents, not as much because of that. Yes, Tom.
More on Passover. We had a lovely Seder, and it was really wonderful.
It really is one of those family celebrations, which is very powerful and very sweet and very touching because there you are, you're doing the Seder with family, with others who care about it too. It is really a strong declaration of your heritage, and this year of all years, how much the more so. And at the same time, though, it's really just, it can be fun, it can be giggly, it's, you know, it's a lot of yelling, it's a lot of complaining, and it's just it's a great holiday. It is a great holiday, except those intermediary days. Just trying to deal with food. Because no pasta. And my daughter replied last night, she's in Italy right now, which is hilarious. Which is hilarious to me. And she claims that she's keeping Passover. I know. I think I basically just said, just don't tell me you're keeping Passover. And that's fine. I don't need you to celebrate the fact that you're keeping Passover. Just do it silently. Anyway, that's the last thing. Yeah, Rob.
Okay, so I had a very fun Passover
Yeah.
at my son's house, and my daughter-in-law is a nursery school teacher at Temple Sinai, and one of her very close friends is the principal at the nursery school at Temple Sinai. So we did the entire Seder out of the Haggadah that they've been using all year for the nursery school students, and sang all the songs, and it was very fun.
That's fun. I'll tell you a joy, a small world joy, right? So I went last week, if anyone was here at services, you didn't see me. You did. Because I was in Philadelphia, kind of being present for dear, dear friend's rabbinic retirement this weekend. Last weekend was his retirement weekend. Anyway, so we're having dinner at the temple and sitting next to all strangers, obviously, because we only know the couple. Anyway, all strangers. And sitting next to this couple, and they proceed to tell me about their Orthodox kids. They're reformed, but their kids Orthodox, like seriously. And I'm like, wow, you know, we're talking about it. They're like, yeah, you know, they're thinking about moving to Pikes. I'm like, good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. She says, well, as it turns out, the son, her husband is from that area. I said, really? And she says, Suburban Park. I'm like, right? Or like really Orthodox Jews in Suburban Park? Find me one, right? One. And I'll be like shocked. Well, it turns out, yeah, I know exactly who she's talking about. And I'm a member of the congregation. Like, of course I know, you know, this person. And it was just like, how did it all be that I could be sitting randomly next to this couple that was connected? Anyway, it's amazing how the world is so small. Indeed. Anybody else want to share something? All right. We praise you and our God, partnering with us in various different elements of joy. So along with the joy, of course, is struggle. Loved ones of ours are not whole, not shalom. Shalom, by the way, means hello, goodbye, peace. It really means whole. And so when you think about peace, okay, when you say hello to someone, when I say shalom, you're saying, you know, I hope that you're whole. And when we talk about shalom, we're not talking about peace as in the absence of war. We're talking about something much bigger and significant, and that's like you feel whole. And so therefore, for example, if there was a ceasefire in Israel today, it wouldn't be shalom, because we still wouldn't be feeling whole. It might be the cessation of war, but not shalom. It's just an interesting and what I consider to be a very important and meaningful element of this word and what our tradition is. This kind of, that shalom takes on such a huge meaning when you just allow it. So there are loved ones who are not shalom. And there's various reasons why you're not shalom. Well, you might be struggling physically, you might be struggling emotionally, you might know someone that you care about who is struggling, and in all of those cases, it takes away from your shalom. And so I'm going to share with you a blessing called Mishabera. I will share with you the first half of the blessing, and then after that, when I finish the first half, I'll give you a chance to say someone's name only if you want to. If you'd like to share the name of a loved one, yourself, or someone else who is in need of healing, you may do so either with their Hebrew name or their English name, and then we'll finish the blessing. So the blessing is Mishbera, Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. When we bless our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, we Yivarech, we Yerepet, Telech, Shalom, and you bless and heal all of our loved ones who are in need of healing, especially the ones whom we name. So if you'd like to share your name, I'll just kind of work my way this way. When I'm here, if you'd like to share your name, please feel free.
Ethan Kelly.
Allison Harriman. Glenn Platt.
Ruth Ann Shea. Just add a few more names. Yonatan Emmanuel, along with Roshana Rivka Batsipura, Peter Goldstein, Aaron Rose. Bishlach Lahem B'mheira Refuah Shalema. May God send them speedily a complete recovery. Refuah Tanefesh V'Refuah Taguf, a healing of body and a healing of spirit. B'toch Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael, amongst all who are in need of healing. Nomar Amen. And let us say Amen. 371, if you wish to follow along with Mishabera.
Of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say pause for a moment of silence. Ratzon והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי והגיון עושה שלום עם רומא יעשה שלום עלינו ואהבו ישראל So just a little story for tonight. It's a Pesach story. It's a story about this man who is quite wealthy, and he has a Seder for all of his rich friends. And, it's exactly as you might expect it. The food the food that's prepared is catered perfectly. The people that are invited are amongst the most elite, extraordinary people. And it was going to be quite a party for the ages. And at one point, there's a knock at the door, and the host opens the door only to find that there is a beggar at the door. And the beggar says, I'm hungry and I need some food, and isn't it Passover? Isn't there a mitzvah that you're supposed to invite all people to your house, Passover? Can I at least have something? And the man, the host, sees him in his rags and in his torn up clothes, and he says, look, mister, I know it's Passover, but we don't give tzedakah on a yontif when it's Passover. I can't do that. So you'll have to come back, leave, and come back another time, and maybe I can help you. So he shuts the door on the beggar's, almost literally on the beggar's face, and goes back into his party and is preparing for the Seder. And what do you know, 5 or 10 minutes later, a second knock at the door. This time, it's a man not dressed in rags as a beggar, but rather he is all decked out in the finest clothes. He's in a tuxedo. He's got a top hat. He's got a cane, with like the silver top to the cane. I mean, looking good. And when the host comes to the door, while he doesn't know the man, he looks at him and he says, my God, you are something else. Come on in for the Seder. And he invites the man in for Seder, and lo and behold, he starts the Seder with everyone around the table, and there are so many people around the table, and it's beautiful, except at one point, the Seder has that order: Kadesh, Orchatz, Karpas, Yachatz, Magid, Rochza, Motzi, Matzah, Maror, Korech, Shulchan Orech, Zafun, Barech, Halel, Nirtzah. I just wanted to just impress you. Now, anyway. You sing that song enough times, if you forget it, then shame on you. So, he gets to Kadesh. Kadesh, that's the first one. And Kadesh is the blessing over the wine in the first glass of wine. And so everyone says the blessing and takes a sip of wine, except for our friend, the guest who came by. And he instead takes his glass of wine, takes his top hat off, pours the wine into the top hat, and leaves the hat on the side of the table. And this makes quite a stir. I assure you, no matter who it is, if you think about the Passover Seder that you had, if someone had taken a glass of wine and poured it in their hat and placed it on the table, I'm sure it would have caused quite an eyebrow raise, but this host was a good host, and he didn't say anything to his guest and continued. Kadesh urchatz. Urchatz is Kadesh urchatz karpas. Yeah, urchatz is washing, and then karpas is the parsley, and then yachatz is breaking the middle matzah, and then soon after eating the matzah. And what do you know? They say the blessing for, the matzah, ala chilat matzah, and the man takes the matzah that's before him, and he breaks it up into thousands of pieces, as you know. If you don't believe me that matzah can break into thousands of pieces, just check the inside of your Haggadah, and you will see at least half of those shards of matzah stuck on that one page where the matzah blessing is, and all of them right in the crease, and you try with like a toothpick to get them, you cannot get the matzah out. But in any event, so when he gets to the matzah, he breaks his matzah into thousands of different pieces and takes the pieces and puts them into the pockets of his tuxedo jacket. And now everyone is kind of jaw-dropped, can't believe it. But they continue politely, even though they are just shocked by it. So right after the matzah, you probably know, is when we do maror, the bitter herbs, and then you eat the maror with the charoset. And charoset is that symbol of the mortar that we used in Egypt, and charoset, so we do the blessing for maror, and then we proceed to do a charoset sandwich with that maror. But this man, does not eat the maror with the charoset. Instead, he takes his shoes off, scoops spoonfuls of charoset into his shoes, and leaves them off to the side. At which point, by the way, this very, very nice host and all of the people at the Seder just could not hold it in any longer. It was strange enough, the wine, the matzah in the pocket was just bizarre and kind of left them a little surprised. Finally, the charoset, dear Lord, that one was off the charts ridiculous, and they could not control themselves. And so they said to this man, this guest, they said, are you from a different part of the world in which there are some traditions that we don't know about, like here in Poland, we don't put charoset in our boots, but maybe there in Denmark, that's the charoset in the boots, tradition. Well, the man says, no, I'm from around here. And then they say, well, why on earth would you do such bizarre things as a guest in someone's house at their Seder? And he said, well, when I arrived earlier dressed as a beggar, I was thrown out. But when I came in dressed with a tuxedo and a top hat and a cane, you invited me in. And so I was convinced that it was the clothes that were supposed to be celebrating this holiday and not the person. And obviously, and that's it's a cute story, and they obviously learned their lesson and never made that mistake again. But it reminded me of the fact that part of our Jewish tradition is, well, there's a famous story from the Talmud about Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi, and he asks how he can find the Messiah. And this story may be somewhat familiar to you, that you know the answer. And he's told, you want to find the Messiah? Go to the gates at the entrance to the city of Rome. And there you will see beggars and lepers, and the Messiah is one of them. And that's how the Talmudic story lasts. What it's trying to communicate to us, of course, is that we don't see the goodness of another human being oftentimes just by looking in their eyes. We make a judgment of them by what they're wearing, who they associate with. And, and Passover of all holidays, as we are experiencing the joy and the fun and the playfulness of a Seder, we also recognize that there are so many who don't have that Seder to go to. They're turned away. Sometimes it's because we turn them away, and sometimes just they don't have an opportunity. And of course, I think about, it's only been every single week for the last 6.5 months that I have in some way, shape, or form referenced those hostages who are still being captive in Gaza or maybe somewhere else. We have no idea. Just recently, we saw a video. Well, I never actually saw the video, but I saw the images of Hirsch, who, I'm forgetting his last name, Hirsch, but it doesn't matter. So who at least we have a sign of life for him. And it goes to show that anyone who was under the impression that all of the hostages are dead, it's not true. I believe lots are, but not all. And as we continue to make our way through this very still uneasy time in our lives, that our goal should just be get the hostages back. Can't say it enough. And you know about me enough to know that I am a lover of Israel and a defender of Israel, and I know that we have to make tough decisions sometimes because it's what's in the best interest of a nation. But still, I think at this point, get those hostages back. It's not about these crazy, crazy demonstrations that are happening on college campuses all across the country. That's noise. It's background noise to me. It concerns me, but it's background noise. Get the hostages back. Let these people be at a Seder next year. They should have been at a Seder this year. Let them be at a Seder next year. And allow us as a people to be shalom. So thanks for just listening to my little story and my little thought afterwards. And let's continue with Aleinu, which is on page 586. And if you don't mind, when you get there, please rise. (586), bottom of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. נאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Please be seated. This is the part of our service when we bring to mind loved ones who have been called to their eternal rest. 2 have passed away quite recently, and therefore we are in the period of what's called Shloshim, the 30 days of intensive mourning. And then others whose yahrzeits occur on this Shabbat, and we call this their yahrzeit. We remember lovingly at this time 2 who have passed away recently: Leslie Harris, wife of Ken Wash, mother of Bennett and Ari Wash. And we also remember Barbara Zietz, wife of Lou Zietz. And in addition, we remember these loved ones whose yahrzeits occur on this Shabbat: Gertrude Decker, Ernest Falk, Harold Grossman, John Jacobs, Betty Vakis, Faye Wagner, Joseph Paper, Bernard Bormel, Helen Cooper, Sam Sorkin, Stephen Weintraub, Sandra Ray Miller, Herbert Phillips, Ruth Pollock, Jerome Shine, Anne Shine Scott, Larry Stander, and Aaron Wagner. And so in gratitude for their lives and linking their names with the rest of our loved ones who have passed away, we remember them with the words of our mourner's prayer, which is called the Kaddish. You can find it on page 598. And if it's your custom, I invite you to please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechal beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam ulamei amaya, Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiram bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to every bereaved heart. And let us say, Amen. Please be seated. Thank you. Okay, we're almost done, and thank you so much for being here. A handful of events to point out to you. Let's see, the office is closed on Monday the 29th because it is the last day of Pesach. By the way, let's go over this really quickly. I'm doing this as a public service announcement. So if you have relatives who are conservative or Orthodox, then they believe that Pesach ends on Tuesday night. But Reform Jews believe that Pesach ends on Monday night. So you can eat pizza or sandwich or pasta all you want Monday night. So why this discrepancy? It's because that the Israel and the Bible and the Torah says 7 days of Pesach. And all Jews, including Orthodox in Israel, believe 7 days. However, the diaspora, 8 days, because just in case we didn't get the word that we had the Pesach starting on the wrong day, whatever, at least we go one extra day and we play it safe. So you should know that if some people say, no, Passover ends on Tuesday night, you could say, yeah, I get that, but for me it ends on Monday night. Just that's a little bit of just a public service announcement. Now, because it ends on Monday night, that means Monday is the last day of Pesach, which means that's a holiday, a Yom Tov. We'll be having a service here that morning, Monday morning at 10 o'clock, the festival morning service with Yizkor, the memorial service for people who have passed away. So that means no rabbi's Torah study on Monday morning. We will have it on the following Monday, May 6th. However, my class for the sages, which is on Tuesday evenings, will be taking place on the 30th. Men's Club movie night, May 4th, 6:30 p.m. Everything I say tonight can be found in the weekly email. If you do not get the weekly email, as I always say, shame on you. You should be getting the weekly email. It's great. It's got so much. It tells you everything you need to know with the hyperlinks and the whole business. Like, we work hard at making sure that that weekly email is thorough and robust and filled. So definitely make sure you get the weekly email. But everything I say can be found in the weekly email. Annual meeting of the congregation, May 5th, 10 a.m. Beatty, our youth group, is doing mini golf, May 11th. an evening of Jewish classical music in honor of Holocaust Memorial Day, Yom HaZikaron, and Yom HaAtzmaut. It's free, but you need to sign up. It's going to be really something excellent. And I should also say, this hot off the presses, on Friday, May 10th, like literally, you cannot find this in the weekly email because it's 2 hours old. On the 10th, my wife Hannah is going to be here. This is Friday night, and it's also Nashira singing. And my wife Hannah is going to talk a little bit, or we're going to have a conversation about her book that she just published, a book of poetry she just published, all about poetry after October 7th. And so be something really special, I think, to hear her talk a little bit about her poetry and to hear her recite some of her poems. So that is on May 10th. Not much more information to share other than that's happening May 10th here. So I think I'm done. Let's do the blessing for Motzi, and then final song, which is on page 635, called Shir Hamalut. The first Motzi, and if you're thinking there's a challah under here, no siree, matzah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem. Yeah. It's not good at all. I really don't like the taste of matzah. But, that's what it means to be Jewish. You got to suffer a little bit. All right. So 635. Shir Hamalot. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shir Hamalot, B'shuv Adonai, Et Shivat Zion, Hayidu Techomi. Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for being here. I've neglected to mention, thank you to Jody Meisenberg, Brett Morrison for serving as ushers. Thank you so much to Karen Cook, Geraldine, and Brian Jacobs, the Mangan family, the Nichols, the Shines, the Switzmans for providing our Oneg Shabbat. So grateful to you all. We have so much food, and it's all kosher for Passover. So I look forward to seeing you in the lobby for an Oneg Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And to you who are watching on stream, so glad to see you also. Thank you so much for tuning in. Chag Pesach Sameach, happy Pesach to you all. And I know Merv's watching, my parents are watching, Abba and Ima, so glad you're watching, and many others, but you're the two that I know about. Some tell me, some don't. If you want a shout out next Shabbat, just tell me you'll be watching. And then I'll make sure to tell you, I'll give you a shout out too. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. La 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 la.